Greetings everyone, welcome to my Sonic issue 39 review. I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. See, this is the first issue I've ever bought, way back when grocery stores like Kroger sold comic books. I mean, look at the cover. It's a robotic Sonic. Not a doppelganger like Metal Sonic, but the actual Sonic turned into a robot. And the technology to make it happen does exist in the comics. So naturally, I was curious, and the rest is history. But how does this issue hold up under an older and critical viewpoint? Let's find out. Our story begins with Sonic angrily spin dashing in front of his friends. No, he's not just showing off. There's a reason for this. Sonic shared a plan to get himself roboticized and using a neural override device to keep his free will. That way, he'll have the additional firepower to finally end Robotnik. His friends rejected it due to the fact that 1. A similar plan was tried in issue 29 and it almost ended in disaster, plus there's no Deus Ex Machina device on hand to restore him this time, and 2. It's implied through her words that Bunny sees robotization, no matter if it's partially or completely, free-willed or enslaved, as a cursed existence. Sonic finally gets it and leaves. Antoine's a bit suspicious, but everyone else is like, Sonic wouldn't do anything that rash, no sirree. Sonic heads to the gym, conveniently outside the secret Knothole village mind you, to work out his frustrations. However, someone gets the drop on the Hedgehog. It's our old friend Knack the Weasel. He's been held in Knothole jail since the events of Sonic Triple Trouble. Said jail is next to the gym for the record. Knack delivers Sonic to Robotnik. In a rare bit of genre savviness, Robotnik forgoes the monologuing, probably because Sonic might wake up and escape, and orders him to be placed in the roboticizer right away. Knack, however, does not want to give up his prize without payment. Oh, here's how Robotnik will pay you, Fanged Sniper. He'll grow his crab meat robot, and it'll toss you out of here. You'll be alive at least. Robotnik could have killed you, or worse, roboticized you as well. Speaking of which, time to witness Robotnik's dream come true.
Oh, it just makes me tingle all over.
Introducing Mecha Sonic. Not to be confused with Metal Sonic, which went by the name Mecha Sonic in past issues. Robotnik explains that since the events of issue 29, he's upgraded the roboticizers with brain burn-through technology to ensure absolute loyalty among his robotic slaves. Robotnik orders Mecha Sonic to trash crab meat as a demonstration. Then he orders him to go burn Knothole Village to the ground. Sally, Rotor, and Antoine spot Mecha Sonic approaching. Likewise, Mecha Sonic spots them and attacks. Sally has Nicole create some holograms to distract Mecha Sonic, but the idea won't last long. Luckily, before Mecha Sonic fires on the real trio, Bunny arrives. And I have to say, she's doing pretty well in combat considering her opponent. However, she cannot last forever despite her upgrades. So Sally informs Tails, who's at the control center, about Condition Red. Based on what's displayed at the communication screen, we're going to see some more red soon. Robotnik's monitoring the battle and uses parts from a SWAT bot to build a power boosting device. The effects of said device zaps Bunny and she crashes hard. Gotta give her some additional credit. Despite being singed, she's willing to keep on fighting. Sadly, the pulse cannon had little to no effect on Mecha Sonic. He responds in kind, and that takes Bunny out of the fight. Don't worry, another player will enter momentarily. Yep, Knuckles has arrived, and after Tails briefs him, he greets Mecha Sonic in a familiar manner. Unlike the Mecha Sonic vs. Bunny fight, Knuckles doesn't last long. It seems the Freedom Fighters are out of options, except one, Operation Last Resort. The story's written by Mike Gallagher, known for a lot of goofy stories in the comics' early days, which is surprising to me because this is a guy who wrote Bunny's intro story. The story that had Bunny in a jovial mood moments after she was partially roboticized. Yet here, as I've implied earlier, she sees her condition as less than pleasant. In-universe, I guess the reality of her situation gradually sank in, or we're seeing the events of her debut through a happier, colorful lens. Out-of-universe, the comic was still trying to solidify its tone and direction, and in the early days, it was invoking the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. This issue, on the other hand, could have been lifted out of the SatAM cartoon. Sonic's plan to get himself roboticized. The only reason only reason he would ever consider the option is that he wants to end Robotnik's rule quickly. That would mean that he considers his skills, which I remind you include super speed and spin dashing, inadequate. So much so, he's willing to retry a plan that almost ended the Freedom Fighters. Though the circumstances behind it are different, it looks like it's going to happen again, even with some opposition against the roboticized Sonic. As much as he gets treated like a punching bag, I'll give Knuckles a pass on his fight with Mecha Sonic. Despite his strength, he was still no match for him. The reason Bunny lasted longer is because of her cyborg enhancements. Maybe if Knuckles could get himself roboticized while keeping his mind intact to fight Mecha Sonic. The artist for this story is Spaz. His design for Mecha Sonic is incredible. Familiarity and deadliness rolled into one. Another thing I like, from an artistic view mind you, is the detail of damage Bunny displays after Mecha Sonic defeats her. This issue gets an 8. Corny moments aside, this is a fun issue, and it's refreshing to see our main hero as the antagonist for a change. In a non-lame way, that is. The story continues not in issue 40, but in a special called Mecha Madness. Come back next month as I take a look at that issue. Until then, have a good day, and be safe. Even as they're about to get wiped out, all Antoine can think about is, "I told you so!"